Greetings. It's a nice sunny day out here, a little chilly, about 45 degrees maybe, something like that. And as you know, these videos, it sometimes takes a few minutes to get up to steam, get things really flowing. But things I'd like to talk about today, one is business. And it's interesting because recently I got I subscribed to the Mother Earth News, basically because someone I know is raising chickens, and we're thinking about getting some property and growing our own food, chickens, goats, things like that. So anyway, this company, Mother Earth News, presents all kinds of information. And once you subscribe, you get emails every day with specials and all the things they're selling and stuff like that. Well, the other day, the magazine itself arrived. And lo and behold, all over the place, there are full-page advertisements for basically industrial farming equipment. Now, none of this stuff is shown or mentioned online anywhere. But basically, you know, Mother Earth News, what are these machines? They are, what, mother raping machines? Basically, earth raping. So, anyway, the argument could be, well, or the defense or the excuse could be that, oh, well, we have to take you don't have to buy their products, but we have to take the advertising revenue in order to stay in business. So that's kind of the point. It all comes down to, in this culture of ours, staying in business. So no matter what it is, no matter how far someone has to go, how much they have to lie, deceive, cheat, scrimp on ingredients, add toxins, all the things that go on with industrial society and its businesses, they can't stop doing any of that because they might go out of business. And of course, what happens if you go out of business? Well, you may not even die. The business becomes a zombie and is bought out by someone else who comes in and eats what's left or tries to redesign things. But anyway, what I'm getting at, my point is that go out of business. Please, just go out of business. Well, we can't, we would die. And well, this is the second point. And basically, we have this idea about survival that it goes back to evolution, Charles Darwin, things like that. Ideas like the survival of the fittest, you know, applying to animals in nature, things like that. And truth be told, the thing about survival, in nature, there's no such thing. It is not about survival. It is about living. So everything out here is living. But what we are doing in this economic business universe that we're in, we are surviving, because if the money runs out, you don't know where your next meal is coming from. You might not starve to death, but, you know, there are going to be repercussions. Now, that's not to say that in nature things don't happen. You know, injuries occur to animals, food supplies dwindle perhaps, seasonal changes, things like that. Sure, but as I said, there's a huge misunderstanding here because nature is living, not surviving. So when we apply these word-based ideas, and this has to do a bit with my last talk about how words blind us to the universe. So we apply a word like survival to things, thinking that this explains everything. This is the model. You know, it's not a model. It's a delusion, sickness, I don't know. But basically, there are a lot of things like this happening, and just like this channel, for example. You know, there's about, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 people who watch these videos, the art ones that I do about drawing, they may have hundreds or thousands of views, but the people that watch these seem to be getting something out of it. And point being, I'm not running a business, so I don't have to wag my hands and have clickbait content and titles of, to grab you and things like that, because that's not what it's about. And I've actually had people thanking me for not doing all that, not doing all the editing and cut in, cut out and all that crap. So anyway, to relate this again to indigenous people, Australian Aborigines or Native Americans or people in other countries, South America, continents, things like that, they look at what we're doing and see the madness of it. Now, what we're doing has been evolving over a few thousand years. It's a relatively new thing. And it's not working. It's basically destroying things and not creating much health or happiness for us in it. So there's that axiom that subtraction reveals solutions, invisible solutions. And so, say for example, tomorrow, we have problems with pollution and carbon emissions and things like that. And well, say for example, tomorrow all the cars flew up into space and exploded. All the trucks, cars, everything just vanished. Well, what would happen? Would everyone die? No. People would immediately begin working around the problem. They would create new solutions that basically were completely invisible before. So they might start growing their own food, localizing more, walking more. There would be a transition period that might be difficult, but ultimately what would happen was myriad new solutions would present themselves that pop up out of thin air that never would have, because of the convenience and comfort of the car situation. Now, people may feel that technology is helpful in some way, and for the most part it's really not. And I did a science fiction story about this, where some Star Trek type people basically need a vacation, so they go to this planet where the people are basically Aboriginal, and they have a great time out in the sun on the beach and things like that, take all the clothes off, and eventually they have to leave. And when they do, they see a giant asteroid headed for the planet. It's too late, they can't do anything about it. Well, a beam comes out of the planet, deflects the asteroid, and these advanced people are basically, oh shit, we had it completely wrong, because these people we called primitive have technology far beyond ours, but they only use it when necessary. So when we get into this thing of calling people primitive or savage or uncivilized, things like that, it's completely misunderstanding that these are people who are living. They are not fighting in competition in an economic business world model. So you can compare on any level, It's like we have churches on every block. We have the Bible, we have religious words, verbiage, goes on and on and on and on and on forever, trillions, billions of gazillions of words all about this stuff. How many people have real experience of the light, or whatever you want to call it, or God, or whatever, cosmos, Very few, because we're all trapped in the words. Well, Aborigines, for example, they had a direct connection to that. They were able to, they had ways of eliciting the near-death experience, where people basically would travel through the veil and be aware, have actual experience of these other dimensions, so that belief was not required. They had knowledge that this existed. This is something that's reported by people that have had near-death experiences, for example. So that's one way that they had knowledge where we have none. just one of many. So it's absurd. It's really absurd. And what we're doing doesn't work. It can't work. And there again, it's like the way we treat children, the way we indoctrinate them into this system as if this is all that's ever existed and this is reality. Then they grow up not understanding what the options are, not understanding what reality really is, which is a huge mess. So anyway, I'm at the end of the walk here, so I guess I'll leave it there. This whole subject, I have more to go into about it, more information. But I won't do that today. I'll save it till next time. So anyway, it's not meant to be pessimistic. It's not meant to be negative. It's not. It's simply uncovering, revealing the true reality behind things. And you know, you're not going to hear this in too many places. Part of the reason is, of course, I'm not in business. But say, for example, on YouTube, there are all kinds of, you know, helpful channels where it's psychology or spiritual or health and, you know, all these things. And ultimately, at the end of it, they all have their hand out for money. So, which is it? Is it helping others or helping yourself? What happens when the business money model gets involved? Does that corrupt things? Or how much? It's like, well, yes, it does. And I could go into many, many examples of how these helping platforms get corrupted by becoming businesses. So anyway, as I said, this is not a business. It's not a business. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for listening. Bye.